Roundtable, guys. Week 3 of the NFL. We are back for another roundtable, guys. Thank you for a piece of your Saturday night. We are late, but we are here, guys. We got the Dolphins, Cowboys playing the Dolphins. Let me get you to the panel, my Cowboys family. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. I'm your host, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Fifth quarter Cowboys, unfortunately, is snoozing. He got Z's above his head right now. He got the sheep in the clouds right now. 1980 needs to get him some power over there and wake his ass up. But we're back here, guys, with another roundtable, man. We got a few things to talk about, topics at hand. Obviously, Taco Charlton is now a Miami Dolphin. We're going to talk about our injuries. We already got 6 inactives right out the gate due to injury. And we're going to break this game down. Key components, key plays, key players for the Miami Dolphins, guys. We can't take this team lightly. And we got a surprise. Yes, we are going to talk about here comes the money, Dak Prescott, guys. So those are our topics here tonight. 1980, I'll let you open the show up to your channel, man. Take it away.
All right, here we go, guys. Saturday, roundtable time, guys. We want to thank every one of you guys in the comment section for joining us. I know it's kind of late, like Football News just said. And but we still gotta rep the Cowboys. If it's okay with you, you know, a lot of people on here, they let the internet, the YouTube pump their heads up, and they think they're the only ones supposed to be talking about Dallas Cowboys, a team that they don't even
only one
that they'll never own. You never own them, but they think they're the only ones. So if it's okay with you guys, we want to talk about some Cowboy football, man. We want to talk about Taco, Dak, the Dolphins. Will this be a trap game or what? Who knows? It should be 3. It should be 3-0 tomorrow. But let's take it away, guys. Thank you once again. Football News, what we got first?
First off, we got the breaking news trade of Taco, the release, the waiver wire for Taco, who was picked up by the Miami Dolphins. Cowboys do not get hit on any salary cap. They are not tied to Taco whatsoever. My Cowboys family, I started off with you, let you open it up, and we'll get into this Taco talk. Are you shocked by this? A first-round pick getting cut 3 weeks in his 4th year?
Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that he got cut in the sense that I really thought that they would try to get the most out of him because he was a first-round pick. The Cowboys are definitely not a team to just let that go lightly. And again, a first-round pick is a huge investment. So, you know, it's not surprising the Cowboys did absolutely everything they could to get the most out of Taco. But when it was pretty clear that between his, you know, very, very, very minimal cap hit and low production, bad attitude, you know, a lot of other factors going into it. And then you put into the fact that no other teams are offering anything. You know, whatever we are asking for, not even a 7th-round pick. Keep that in mind. We could have had Taco traded for a 7th-round pick, and everyone said, no, thank you, because they knew we were going to release him anyway. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm still surprised overall. But when you really look at it, I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised. And, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, you actually said everything pretty much. I will say the addition of guys on our defensive end and Robert Quinn coming back, I mean, that also makes Taco expendable because we have enough talent on this team with these guys. Like Joe Jackson was the guy who pushed Taco off this team. Joe Jackson, the 5th-round pick, pushed off a number 1 pick from 3 years ago. So Joe Jackson, you know, for number 56, you got to give him credit. But again, that means that he's the guy that pushed him up. He's the last guy on that defensive end list. And there's 7 other guys in front of him, plus Randy Gregory, maybe. You never know. I'm just saying there's so many guys. It was time to move on. And Rod Marinelli had the big issue with it. It was the big clash there. And not really his attitude, but it was also, I guess you could say, like thought processes and stuff. It just didn't mesh. And, you know, it was time to break away from that. And that, like you said, maybe that's a hard thing for the Cowboys to do when you got Jerry Jones's name scribed right on it. So.
You know, yeah, you're spot on there. And this has been confirmed. The Dolphins were the only team that picked up his claim. So out of 31 teams, only 1 out of 31 picked up his claim. So 1980, what was your reaction?
I agree with Cowboys family. But I think this is something we all kind of knew that was gonna eventually happen. I mean, we talked about it. Everybody, even the people on the radio stations, talked about Taco will be traded. This is something we kind of knew about. His attitude kind of got him in trouble too. You know, when sometimes if you ask for something, especially in NFL, you'll get it. And you know, him making that tweet talking about I want out, set me free, and all this stuff. A lot of these young guys are doing that now. Taco's personality kind of got him, gave him the shovel for his grave. He just wasn't that good. You know, I mean, he never did come around. He could never, you know, he'll do some good plays every now and then, but and kind of show out in I think season and the preseason games and, you know, stuff like that. But he just never really did stand out. So I think this is something that we all kind of knew that was coming. You know, God bless him. Hopefully have a good career. But he just didn't seem like the type of player that wanted to really put in a lot of work, have a strong work ethic to make his, you know, his career better. He, you know, kind of pouted on the sidelines at times and, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, so now this is a good time for Joe Jackson to step up and do something. But you know, we'll see. And on the radio stations here, guys are talking about did the Dolphins pick him up to get, you know, the playbook, our playbook, and what we're going to do. You know, kind of like Donald Leary. Remember we played the Broncos and they got Donald Leary. They killed us that year. But that's been kind of floating around here in the DFW. I don't know if you guys heard of that. But that's been kind of floating around. They want to try to cheat and, you know, get in our playbook, get in our huddle, you know, and maybe getting Taco will help, you know, but who knows? We got Robert Quinn coming back. There's been good things about him. We don't know what kind of Robert Quinn we're going to get, though. He's going to be rusty. He's got to shake off those cobwebs like I've been saying in the videos. But hopefully he'll, you know, we'll plug him right in and he'll, you know, get the party started. But that's pretty much all I got on Taco. You know, best of luck to him. Mm-hmm. Just didn't fit our role, man. That's all.
Right. Yeah. This is how I look at the Robert Quinn trade with the Dolphins. Next round pick and Taco Charlton, and we got Robert Quinn. That's how I look at it. And when I was at training camp this offseason, I'd seen the way Taco was walking, his demeanor. He was just walking like Gumby, if you get what I mean. He was just walking like Gumby, head down, you know, and I really didn't see any enthusiasm out of him. Rod Marinelli went over there and talked to him for a couple of minutes. And then Marinelli went to talk to Heel after that conversation, and Rod Marinelli spent more time with Heel than he did with Taco. I mean, that was a short conversation, but you know, Jerry Jones said that, you know, he would try to make a play against Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles in the game, and his confidence was just not there, and he wilted. That's how Jerry Jones said it. So, not surprised. To 1980's point, if the Dolphins are trying to get their playbook, our playbook, I think they picked the wrong player, because it looked like this guy really wasn't paying attention. I bet he don't even know what the hell's going on. So right. They're asking Taco, can you give us some offensive plays? No. Right. So I mean, and so they picked the wrong guy. But no, guys, they super. You know, hopefully, I hope he does play us. That way we could show Cowboy Nation who is butthurt about this move. That, you know, we let him go for a reason, and I hope Robert Quinn balls the hell out. But injuries, guys. Washington Redskins game was not a healthy scratch game. Xavier Woods, Antoine Woods, Michael Gallup, these guys got injured, and you know, we already got 6 inactives to start this game. So we're going to see Hill. We're going to see Big 79 out there playing with the big boys. So 1980, I'll start with you first, man. What's your reaction on these injuries? I seen one of your video titles was I didn't even know Michael Gallup was injured. So walk us through how you found out, and what's your reaction to the other players?
Yeah, like you said, man. And last thing on Taco real quick, he's supposed to be playing on the right side. That's Tyron Smith's side. You know, he had a hard time with Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith was pancaking his butt. But anyway, yeah, man, Michael Gallup first. I didn't know. I really didn't. I didn't know until I got home that day that he was, because he did so well. He did so well in that game. I think he had almost 100 yards in receiving. And, you know, he did a lot of good blocking and everything. And I didn't see it in the game, you know. And, you know, sitting at home, you don't see everything. But it was just shocking. It's going to be a big loss not having him on the field. Like I say, Devin Smith is going to have to step up and step up to the plate. And I think he can. But him and Dak was Gallup and Dak was really, really, on the same page this season. Last season, but they just weren't, But this year has just been a totally different, flip mode. You get what I'm saying? So he's going to be missed. As far as and then Tyrone Crawford didn't know about that either. It's just like all these injuries we got through. I think season and training camp. Preseason without a scratch, and now it's all these these damn injuries are floating up, coming up like a dead body in a river. So it's shocking. Now Tyrone Crawford is going to be missed because he can do different things. He can play one tech as well, and he got the sack last week against the Washington Redskins, but I didn't see his injury as who else is out?
My Cowboys family: Luke Gifford, Xavier Woods, Antoine Woods, Tyrone Crawford.
Oh, yeah, Antoine Woods. I mean, it's just like they just dropping like flies.
Michael Gallup.
It's crazy, man. I don't even. Family, what you got, man?
Yeah. So maybe I guess I'll actually go on the take it kind of from when you were talking about Michael Gallup. We want Michael Gallup back, and here's the thing. My little breakdown on that. When it comes to Devin Smith, we talked about him last week. We talked to him after the game, and he showed up. We had him. We played him. Now there's no Tavon Austin. Now there's no, of course, Michael Gallup. So now we have 4 receivers in this game. And I believe, Cedric Wilson's going to be maybe some usage here and punt returns as well. But I do believe that Devin Smith, we saw him play in the fourth quarter against the Redskins. Now, when Gallup got hurt, it was the third down on before we kicked the field goal, make it 24-14. And that was the last play he had in that game. The whole rest of the quarter, he played Michael Gallup's position, Devin Smith. He did a damn good job. He had 2 catches on that last drive with Zeke. Eventually, took it in. But who set him up? It was Devin Smith, number 15. So I think he'll be great doing the kind of the in between I'll say outside the hash marks and to the outside. The difference that we will have, I think missing Gallup is over the crossing routes over the middle there in between those hash marks. Though that's where Gallup takes some damn hits. He took them in the Giant game. He took them in the Redskin game, and he held on to the ball.
Yeah, he's not scared to go over the middle.
And he's not. And I don't think Cedric Wilson is either. I just think that they're smaller guys comparatively.
Can he hold on to the ball the same way that Gallup?
Exactly. Gallup has done it over and over again, and he can do it. He can hold on to those tough hits. I just hope that Devin Smith can do that. I believe he will be able to, but if he going inside, outside like he did to set up Zeke's touchdown, I think Devin Smith's going to be great. He can go deep, he can go intermediate, short. So I have no real fear there. Although with Tavon and Gallup gone, these guys have to step up. And I think Cobb will still be the slot guy. This matchup is going to, I think it's going to, well, I guess we'll talk about the Dolphins. I have a matchup with Cobb. I think it's going to be key in this game. But then when I look at the other injuries, like you were saying, 1988, Crawford, with Quinn coming back, that alleviates some of that. Remember, last 2 weeks we haven't had Taco. Yeah. So it's not like we're missing Taco and we're missing, Tyrone Crawford.
Missing Taco doesn't really change.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're moving Taco. Forget Taco for a second. We're moving Crawford out and Quinn in. I think that's an upgrade on the pass rush. Now, you talk about, run stopping, interior, Antoine Woods. To me, that could be an issue. I think Christian Covington, number 95, is playing fantastic when it comes to stopping the run, a space eater in the middle. Now, you want to go into the pass rush mode? You got Malik Collins still in there. I think he's going to play a bigger game this time, and he has some good matchups on the interior of the Dolphins. But I think when you have a pass rusher like Tristan Hill coming in as the one tech, I think he'll be able to come in as a one tech and kind of give it a little flavor. You also have Kerry Hyder. You got Joe Jackson. They can still play inside, which Crawford also used to kind of help out as well. So I think we're going to fix that. My biggest concern by far, without question, my man, Xavier Woods being gone. Now, I know, and thank goodness, they said 4 to 6 weeks. Now they're saying, 1 week maybe. So that's fantastic.
He was practicing. They said he was practicing.
Yeah, they said he could have. I think he had a boot on, but they said they were almost going to let him practice, and they were going to let him go like – I think it's better to give him a rest. I think a lot of these injuries you're seeing, guys, it's more like a bye week almost. I don't want.
Did you see when he got hurt? Xavier Woods.
He got hurt. It was a high ankle.
Did you see it though? I didn't even see it.
It was on the last drive when they kept getting those 4th downs and they scored. So that was unfortunate, the last drive. But Xavier Woods with a high ankle sprain. Now it's one or 2 weeks or so, something like that. My issue is right now it's not, I don't know about Donovan Wilson being the rookie and all that stuff, being able to do it. I would like to see him in there, especially this week. The thing is that number 23, Darian Thompson, to me, he's not that good. I'm not confident in his free safety abilities. And so that's the guy I'm kind of watching in some matchups, and I'm hoping that he can fill in good enough. I think the pass rush has to get to Rosen, Josh Rosen. If we do, it's game over. But my point is that I don't want him having time to be able to pick Darian Thompson as the free safety replacement. Xavier Woods did so much for us. Holding quarterbacks from throwing when they could have and then making them wait an extra half second. All these things, Xavier Woods had a lot to do with that. And, he's a big missing piece, and I don't know if Darian Thompson can handle that. Maybe. I mean, that's all the positions. I mean, I went through all the injuries. That's why. I mean.
I didn't know Antoine Woods was hurt. He's hurt too.
Yeah, he's out this game.
Both Woods were hurt. Antoine Woods we knew because we actually saw him get hurt during the game.
Yeah, he was on
Xavier Woods was obviously an injury we found out about later on.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's again to me. They're both important. But I think we fixed all the other kind of. We have enough depth to kind of fill in the other stuff, and then Darian Thompson to me is that real weak link. And I wish we had an opportunity to see Donovan Wilson this game. I mean, I know you were a big proponent of him playing. Yeah,
that's one thing that this injury situation kind of gives us two things. One, 1980, you pointed this out too. We didn't get out of that Redskins game unscathed. So hopefully this Dolphins game, is a different story. It's like the Giants game where we play a good game, solid game, and no one gets hurt, because to me, that's the biggest thing. We can have an easy game against the Dolphins, or we should have a realistic expected outcome. But if we have a major piece get hurt, that's obviously bigger for the rest of the season. And to me, the other thing too is obviously, again, we have a lot of young guys stepping up. So you said Christian Covington. I think that you're a little higher on him than maybe I am. I have a few more doubts, a few more question marks around him and his performance. But, it's one of those things where feet to the fire. He has to step it up. Tristan Hill, you didn't even touch on Tristan Hill.
A little bit.
But the point is that, Tristan Hill is he absolutely has to step it up. He is our stepper up. He also hasn't even played. So, and again, to me, the safety situation is going to be big because, yes, it could only be 1 week if Xavier Woods does come back next week. But even if he comes back, I'm not sure if he'll be 100%. So, we still might be seeing some of these young guys be part of the rotation depending on how the Cowboys play it out. So right now, it's a big, big chance for some of them to either step it up or let us know this is not the way we want to go. Yeah. So,
but we've still been waiting. We're saying step it up, step it up. Sorry, football news. We've been saying step it up, step it up. But we've still been waiting on the starting guys to step it up because Antoine Woods hasn't really made a big impact. Malik Collins will make one play and then you won't see him anymore the whole damn game. And D-Law, our big money guy, hasn't really got a half a sack, I think, and a strip sack or something like that against the Giants. But maybe this will be the game for the young guys to step it up and maybe get in a rhythm. A pass rush is the biggest deal for us. That's our handicap. It's been our handicap. These first two easy games everybody's saying we haven't really had a pass rush that we're used to, that we had last year. Last year, our pass rush was beast mode. We were top 5 defense in the league. Nobody could run on us. They could barely pass on us because of our pass rush. This year, it kind of just, I guess, you give people money and they just say, oh, well, hell, I ain't got really nothing to play for now. I don't know. But tomorrow, we'll find out. Like you guys say, these young guys are coming up, stepping up. They have no choice against the Dolphins. Any quarterback can look good. Miss Fiance, you can stand back there and find somebody. If you have time, you can find somebody open. As bad as the Dallas Cowboy pass rush is. So we'll find out tomorrow how good these guys can be.
I look at these injuries, and I don't like the injury of it. I like the timing of the injuries.
Yeah.
Week 8 is the bye week. Our two biggest threats, potential biggest threats, Packers, Eagles. Until the bye week. It's week 3. We got 5 games to go. So 3 of the games I bet we can manage. But I like the timing of the injuries. Either they're going to be back before the bye week or they're going to be back after the bye week. And then we can finish the season strong the last couple of games that we got left. So the timing of it, fantastic, guys. That's just my thoughts on the injuries. Unfortunate. We got to get healthy. We got to get better at that, which the Cowboys medical staff in general has gotten so much improvement even 5 years ago. So huge shout out to them, and practice tackling. We're not having concussion, stuff like that too. So good things are happening. The timing of it, we can deal with as long as these guys can hold it down. Against the Saints, against the Packers, against these Eagles, we'll have a good stretch when they get back towards the end of the year. But Miami Dolphins, guys, one of my videos I say we can't take them lightly. And this game kind of reminds me when Aaron Rodgers was out with a broken collarbone. Matt Flynn went in there. They were down 21-3 at half, and they came back and they whooped our ass. This game right here, it could be history repeating itself if this defense lets up in any form, fashion, dude. We cannot have another Matt Flynn cape because of the Cowboys and Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn got paid millions of dollars to be a starting quarterback in Seattle. We cannot let Josh Rosen get paid because he took advantage of a top 5 defense that's playing. What are they? They're 21st in pass and 11th in run. They're 17th overall right now in the NFL. That right there is not elite defense. This defense with these Dolphins, they got to go in there. They got to put in work. They got to start from 100 miles an hour from start to finish. If they want to be hot boys, last time I checked, hot boys don't cool off. Unless when they're on Twitter, they're cold boys because they ain't in no game. If you want to be hot boys, you got to be hot all the time. You got to have flames on. You got to be the fire emoji. You cannot let a Matt Flynn type game with the Green Bay Packers happen against these Miami Dolphins. My Cowboys family, your thoughts?
Yes. All right. Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm with you 1,010%. I know fiance is definitely not on the full blast train here, but I think that, again, this is a team that our defense absolutely has something to prove against, not just because they are technically the worst team in the league. I understand they're still an NFL team, but, I think there is a statement to be made here. And from a defense that is supposed to be as good as ours is, you're 100% right. We need to see tangible results, not just a win at the end. You know what I mean? Our defense has to produce some kind of actual numbers or stats here. So again, a limited number of yards in the air and on the ground. We need to see an interception. I'm sorry, but Josh Rosen, a young quarterback, an unexperienced quarterback, or again, Case Keenum, it was said here in our chat again, Case Keenum and Eli, as much as we might crap on them, they're both pretty experienced vets who know their way around the feel of the game and can get out of situations a lot faster than someone like Josh Rosen will. So all these things mean that, again, sacks. We absolutely need to see at least 2 sacks, I would say. I mean, again, at a minimum, and one of those has to be Tank. I think we all agree on that. I mean, this is the man who is supposed to be the leader of this defense, and, labrum or no labrum, it's time to start putting some actual numbers and production up on the board so that at the end of the day, when we get that W, as we all hope, we can say, yes, we got the win, but our defense produced actual tangible results.
Yeah, not just bending all game and then not breaking. So I do think that, I agree with what you guys are saying. I do think they should show out. But here's the thing, and again, we're playing against a team that doesn't have much talent on offense. I mean, Rosen, he's like 110 yards, and like the quarterback rating is like 32. I mean, that's how bad he's doing right now. His minimal time out there. Fitzpatrick, who's not playing, he's through, who knows how many pick sixes. But the thing I look at a little deeper here is that the Dolphins running game, they have Kenny Drake, I think his name is. He's got 31 yards in 2 games. The next guy is Ballage with 5 yards. The leading receiver has 3 catches. Devontae Parker with 75 yards, and that was in the Baltimore game. He got 7 targets against New England. He's their number 1 target. He's nowhere to be found. And again, that's against, good defenses, very good defenses against Baltimore, but ours is right there. There should be nothing going on there when it comes to Rosen. We need to get pressure with the front guys. And I think, this is the one game I will say that even though we should dominate because they are a lesser team, we do have a lot of injuries on defense with our starters. Let's be real about that. So, you're missing Antoine Wood, you're missing Talon Crawford, you're missing Xavier Woods. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but I'm also saying that, you got some rust, you may get a little rusty Robert Quinn. They'll get to him. They're going to get to Rosen. I'm hoping, like you said, maybe the guy gets sacks. I want to see turnovers. And I think we need to get those from these guys. I don't care who gets it at this point. Just get some turnovers and pick sixes and whatever it is and cause havoc for them. I think that we obviously have the ability to do that. We haven't shown out as much as we should. It is a statement to make in this, but, there's so much. I think when we get to the later quarters, right, third and fourth quarter, I think that's when you're going to see, depending on the score, if we're up by 30 points, they might squeak some yards and some points on us, whatever. I'd rather not get injured, than and let them score 10 in the fourth quarter than go risk, another injured player, as you guys mentioned already.
1980, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is one of those games where we really have to focus on development and getting better. This is another game that we're not going to get credit for if we win. We didn't get too much credit for the Giants. We didn't get too much credit for the Redskins because, they suck, But I never take an NFL grown man team lightly because you just never know. Remember the Carolina. I always go back to the Carolina game the first game of the season last year where we just thought we were, and they kicked our asses. Obviously, that was before Amari Cooper and the coaching changes and everything. So that was a different team. So and then the Colts. Remember the Colts? We were supposed to go to Indy and blow them out of the water. They killed us. We didn't even score. We didn't get in field goal range. So I know Miami's struggling. They're really, really struggling this season. They're probably one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the. But you just can't take teams lightly. You just don't know what they're up to and what they know. And each team plays each team differently, So they scout and they do things, even though they suck, they still want to win. They're looking for their first win, so they're hungry. They're going to play hard. And these are the games that you lose, the games that, just like back in the day, was it 92 or 93? We lost to 93. We lost to the Redskins. I think it was the first game. My Cowboys family, if I'm correctly, 93. We won that Super Bowl in 92. In 93 we played the Redskins first, and we lost that first game. Obviously, Emmitt Smith that was when Emmitt Smith was holding out. So we didn't have Emmitt, But we still could have won it. We were still the better team, and we still could have won that game. But we just made a lot of mistakes. We were playing at RFK Stadium, I think. And it was just something about that stadium. We just couldn't do good there. But we lost that game.
That was in 92?
That was 93. That was 93. No.
Yeah, we lost it 16-35.
Against the Redskins, right?
Yeah, I got it right here.
There you go. That was memory, but Football News got it right there.
And then we lost to the Bills 10-13 the next week.
See what I'm saying? So you just never know. But like I say, this game tomorrow is a good opportunity to do different things. We can't forget about Pollard. Pollard, they say he can do different things. Let's use this guy. Let's see what he can do. Let's line him up at Z receiver. Let's line him up as slot receiver and see what he can do. Put him in motion and things like that. Let's run a 4-receiver set. Cobb on one side and slot, and Pollard on the other at the Z receiver. So let's see what he can do. They say he can catch balls out of the backfield. He can run routes. So I would like to see Pollard, lining up at receiver. Hell, they line Zeke out there sometimes on trick plays, so they can do it for Pollard too. Pollard had some good runs last week, but they're not using this guy like he's supposed to be used just yet. We still got a long season to go. It's still early. But I think Pollard can do some things. Once he gets in open space, it's over. But this, like I say, this should be a win for us, But you just never take any game lightly, And maybe tomorrow we'll be up 2-3 touchdowns, and I'll be like, oh, okay, we're good, But right now it's 0-0. We didn't win those two. We didn't win those two games, and that's how I was taught way back in high school. Even though we were on a win streak, after that win, you celebrate that night, that next day, that's it. It don't exist anymore. Get it out your head. Because a lot of these players, man, they let these wins. Oh, we're up 2-0. We're the best team in the NFC East. And I got my money and all this stuff. And we're good. We're great. We're the best. No, man. It's still early. That's over with. Just like after halftime. After halftime, I don't give a damn if you winning 44-0. After halftime, it's 0-0. You get what I'm saying? So that 2-0 don't exist when the kickoff comes tomorrow. So I hope they had that same frame of mind going into this game tomorrow. The record is 0-0.
No. My coach taught us the same thing. We watched film on Monday. By the time we got on that practice field, we're practicing against for the next city, and that game was not brought up. If you had a bad game, you practice like you did. If you had a good game, you practice like you did. And so I think we might have the same coach. but no, I'm looking at this game against these Dolphins, and I'm looking at the defense, and I want Dak to put up 5 touchdowns in this game. It probably won't happen because I'll put him at 12 touchdowns to 1 interception for the year. I think that would be clutch for Dak and more argument for him to get paid so this stuff can get over with. But anyway, I'm not looking – I want that to happen, right? But realistically, this team is averaging 4.8 yards a carry. So we're going to be running this ball down their throat like no other. I'm so confident in that. I just dropped Rashad Penny off my fantasy league from the Seattle, and I picked up Tony Pollard on my fantasy. So I got Cooper and I got Pollard starting on my fantasy. But that's how confident I am. Pollard's going to get a lot of looks in the second half, and he's going to rack me up some fantasy points and win. But anyway, and he would have last week, but freaking the Mari Cooper hold got called, and so there's that. But anyway, let's not talk about fantasy right now. So Josh Rosen, and if we know anything about this, 2012, Jason Witten in the preseason, Rolando McClain with the Raiders hit him. It ruptured his spleen. They didn't know if he was going to play week 1 or not. Jason Witten played week 1, and Jason Witten brought that spark. We were playing at MetLife Stadium against the Super Bowl champions, New York Giants. And Jason Witten came back, and he just lifted up the team. It was a big spark, right? Josh Rosen can do this for the Miami Dolphins team. They just benched Fitzpatrick, who was playing dog shit, right? So Josh Rosen, he is a top-tier quarterback. He was drafted high, first round, and obviously he'd probably still be with the Cardinals starting right now if it wasn't for a new coaching staff. They wanted Kyler Murray, all that stuff. So they traded him to the Dolphins. So the talent's there. The talent has to be there if they're going to start him over a veteran quarterback like Fitzpatrick, who can give you probably 3 or 4 games to even start the year, right? So I'm looking at this. They really don't have a running back. They're what's his name? The running back over there. It's a cool name.
Drake.
Who?
Drake.
Yeah. Kendrick Drake or something like that, right?
Drake Kenyon or something like that?
Yeah, Drake's his last name. Yeah. If you look at him and Tony Pollard, they're basically identical. And, the offensive line, they traded Tunsil and all that stuff. But you got to sack Rosen because Rosen could be the spark for this football team.
Yeah.
For them to do some damage. I mean, we cannot take and they did it on a Thursday. Cowboys were practicing for Fitzpatrick on Wednesday. They named Rosen the starting quarterback on Thursday. They're going to have a walkthrough. They had a walkthrough today. Game day's tomorrow, right? So they only really had 2 practices looking at Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
So good strategy on them. Whatever. I hope Taco plays. We can smash his mouth in. But anyway, we got to get the sacks. We got to capitalize on sacks. We can't wrap up and let the guy go through our hands. If we're going to get interceptions, we got to catch it. Yes. We lost 2 interceptions. One was hit the star, and one was he was looking at the end zone. So Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods. If you want to be elite, this is the team to do it against. Yeah. They're going to have spark. They're going to have momentum. They got a new face right now in Josh Rosen. You got to take advantage of it, and it starts early, and then it starts at the end. You cannot let up. But Dak Prescott, I don't think he's going to have – he probably have 2 touchdowns. He'll probably have a lot of rushing yards because of the read option. He might be, 18 for 24, $230 with 2 touchdowns because I think they're just going to run the ball like crazy. But that's my take. Any rebuttals? Anything else you want to add, MCF? Go ahead.
Mute.
Yeah, no, I definitely thank you. I definitely have rebuttal. And it's not really rebuttal. I wanted to add something and then say something about the offensive side of things. So we were talking about the defense initially, and I wanted to touch on the offense. But one last thing about Josh Rosen that DCFN said, 100% right, by the way. I believe he has more talent. I believe he's the guy that can probably get him a better chance. And Rosen is their future, so why not just throw him in there and get him going for the Dolphins? Again, that spark. But the one thing that he's going to have trouble with, he has no offensive line. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and even a bad pass rush group should get back there and be disruptive. And we don't have a bad pass rush group.
And that's the point where we say things like, I know you said DCFN, you want to see Dak put up 5 touchdowns, which I know Fiance is going to touch on in a second here. This is kind of one of those things where we don't really want to put a number to it, but we do expect to see some sacks. And if we don't see this front line get sacks against this offensive line, then again, even if we get the win, it is something that we have to kind of discuss and touch on because that would be a big problem if we can't do it against this team.
The interior, they have a guy named Adora, Dieter. These guys are getting ripped up all day, all night against other teams, right? So we should have no problem, at least giving some pressure, being somewhat disruptive. Now, on the flip side of the things on offense, and we really touched on it very little, I think, and it's really not much to touch on. It's Kellen Moore's offense, and I believe we're going to see – that is why I disagree with DCFN. I believe we're going to see passing. I believe we're going to want to end this game early. I believe they're going to want to run up the score if possible. Not run up the score, but, get in front, get 21-0, 28-0, 31-0 by halftime or third quarter. I would love that. I'm not sure if they're going to do it because it doesn't seem that the first quarter is always a little slow. But I think the Cowboys want to once they get throwing, I don't think they're going to stop for a little bit. I think they're going to throw and try to reestablish that, kind of end the game as early as possible.
And the Cowboys have a goal in mind in this game offensively. They want to put Cooper Rush in by the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I know that's crazy, but the point is that we want to be up by enough and have our offense do enough. And again, the defense, that's where the defense comes in. If the defense is getting turnovers and sacks and
short
interceptions,
fields and that kind of stuff,
we are set up to be able to put points real quick on the board. I don't think that'll happen, but obviously I think that's the goal plan, the main goal.
There's one matchup I just want to watch. I know we talked about all the receivers, the Randall Cobb against the slot cornerback. His name is Jamal Wiltz, I think. He's one of. I mean, he's only had 38 passing plays, I guess, in 2 weeks, and that's very little for a slot corner. So 38 times, and I think he's allowed I think he's allowed 5 catches for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Randall Cobb. I expect to get over 100 yards tomorrow and a touchdown. And I do think that that I think Dak might get close to 5. He might get 4 touchdowns.
And again, if Kellen Moore does what you think, I don't think 5 is unrealistic. I just think that you might be surprised at the running game because I actually think this is going to be a game where expect a lot of bombs like that, but forget it. He's going to tear it up.
I think so too.
This game, and you know what? In the air, fine. Give it to Zeke in the air. Give it to him on the ground. Like he'll freaking take a helicopter into the end zone.
I think it'd be balanced,
but this is Zeke's game.
Another big important thing to do. I agree. It definitely is going to have some Zeke and some running game in this. I agree. I think Pollard's going to dominate towards the end of the game because I think you can see more Pollard at the end. But but I do think that another important thing to do, and this is 2 seconds, is not put any new stuff on film. Like you can use some of the same plays you already put out there,
just execute
plays on film, that other teams are going to be able to analyze us more on a team like the Dolphins.
Again, I disagree. I think this is a perfect chance to try something new. It's the lowest risk possible. And if you do it, most teams aren't really going to expect you to do something like that again. And it doesn't have to be, again, you don't have to play your full deck. You can show a little bit of it, and just try something. Anyway.
If they're going to try something new, they're going into this game with 4 wide receivers, so you're not going to see a lot of new things with 4 wide receivers. Just with matchups and stuff. Cowboys are going to run a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight end set, And I mean, you're going to see a lot of run. You're going to see a lot of Blake Jarwin in this game, I think.
Yeah.
I think Blake Jarwin's going to come in and look like he did against Week 17 against the Giants.
So what about Dalton Schultz too? I know that's your guy. Like you expect to see a little bit of Dalton Schultz as well.
When you got 82, when you got Jarwin, let Schultz soak it up. It's only his second year. There's no rush.
Yeah, and it's also 12 personnel. You really don't. Not gonna really need him. Let's get 13 out there. So
exactly, you need to block what Schultz can block. He was a hell of a blocker at Stanford, but no, I think we're gonna run heavy. I think Jason Garrett, and that's what I like about Jason Garrett. The robotic shit. It's annoying as fuck. I get it. Sorry if I'm cussing on you guys' channel, but the mindset is there. He's the same against these Dolphins as he was last year against the Saints, who was putting up 30 points. He's the exact same coach, and he's going to teach and coach the exact same way. So there's no spotlight too big or too bright for Jason Garrett, I think, in my opinion. And that's what I like about this coach. That's one aspect I can say about Jason Garrett. When 20 years, when I'm talking to my grandkids about Dallas Cowboy football, I could be like, well, Jason Garrett, you can say what you want about him, but this guy was consistent totally, But anyway, I think you're going to see a lot of run. I think you're going to see a lot of Jarwin and a lot of Tony Pollard because they're not going to play Zeke the whole entire game. And Zach Martin didn't get a break too. If we're up 24-0 in the third quarter, you can see Zach Martin getting pulled.
Yeah,
to save his back.
This is the game to. This is the game. If they're going to experiment, this is the game to do it. I think we're gonna see a lot of pass and run. This is gonna be one of those games where they put the foot on the gas. I hope this is one of those games where they put the foot on the gas and they don't let up, so they can go ahead and take their starters out. By half, hopefully we'll be up by 3 or 4 touchdowns, so we can just kind of relax and take it easy come second half. So hopefully they'll do that. We'll probably get the ball first. I see Jason Garrett receiving first, just so we can get that ball rolling. This is a perfect time to really, really get Zeke, because Zeke, he was kind of eating right at the end towards the Redskins game, but this is a good game to get him in a really, really good rhythm too. So we get him going, it'll be just like Fiance said, I think he's probably going to have 120, 130 yards and maybe 2 touchdowns, depending on how well we do in the red zone. So,
Drew, in your comment section, 1980 brought up what has the $20 million man done for this D-line so far? He's done a lot. Just because you're not getting sacks doesn't mean you're not running stunts for other people to get sacks.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about D-Law, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's being double-teamed. He's being
double-teamed.
His presence out there, he's being double-teamed. He's coming around the end. These guys are waiting on him. The guard is waiting on him, and the tackle is already, fumbling around with him and everything. So a lot of times, D-Law, we just haven't – we've really been hard on D-Law. I'm pretty sure he's in there doing the best he can, but a lot of times,
and he is.
Go back and look at those replays, he's getting double-teamed.
And dude, the sack Tyron Crawford got to change the momentum of that game against the Washington Redskins. Mm-hmm. He hit Schaefer so hard in the jaw, he almost lost his feet, bro. That's a grown man hitting a grown man running as fast as he can. That's how Tyron Crawford got that sack. Yeah. Marcus Lawrence, he might not have the Purdy, and I wish fifth quarter was here because he'd be yelling at me right now, but he might not have the Purdy stats, but it's what he does. Yeah. DeMarcus Lawrence will chase a man 40 yards down the field and try to make a tackle. It's the hustle. That's why I respect D-Law so much, because it's the hustle. And it's not the first time I said it here on this roundtable.
Right.
But Dak Prescott, guys, he's still what the H? There was a question in there. He asked the panel this. I forgot who it was, and I'm so sorry, but thanks for that question, though. He said, was it Drew?
Yeah.
He said, does Jerry Jones have full 100% confidence in Dak? And if he does, why isn't he signed yet? I said that this offseason, guys. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah. Well, I think let me go ahead. Drew's my boy. He's a Philly fan, but he's a diehard.
He's a Philly fan. Get his ass. I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna mute your ass.
That's my boy, man. He's been pretty. He's pretty cool.
I'm just kidding.
But I think they haven't because they got the time to do it. Dak's not threatening to hold out or anything. So they're kind of just taking their time with it, and they letting Dak do his thing. They don't want to really, mess up anything right now. I think they're just kind of like, sitting back and, hey, we're going, I'm pretty sure Dak, they probably already discussed numbers and everything. What do we know? We just fans on the outside looking in. But it just hasn't been, it hasn't been forced up yet, like the Zeke situation or like the D-Law situation, because those guys held out. Dak's doing his thing. Dak's making $1 million on endorsements. Hell, I just saw him on a commercial yesterday. So he's got a million commercials out there. Hell, even Jalen Smith he's on commercials and some type of insurance company commercial. I just saw him locally here in the DFW. So these guys are doing pretty well off the field. So that's probably why Dak is cool. Dak is going to do his thing. He's not rushing it. Obviously, he's going to get paid. He wants to get paid, but there's no rush. There's no rush with it, especially when you got a guy like Dak, that's cool, calm, and collected, and it's not, I need my money and all this stuff, so.
That's all you got about Dak Prescott's money?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to get paid. And he deserves it. So I don't know numbers and how much he's going to get, but but it's on its way. It's coming. So I don't know when and where and how, but it's on its way. Melvin
Salone said $50 million for Dak. Hopefully that's just guaranteed. It's not a year. But my Cowboys family, fiance brought up a good point offline, but let's talk about Dak Prescott. Bring up that point, fiance, and let's roll.
I mean, for me, number one, I'm going to say it, Cowboys, you're dumb. You could have signed Dak in the offseason much earlier for much cheaper. Now we're getting to the point where every game, every day that we wait, I feel like we are seeing his price increase. But my fear is, and I know I'm not trying to sound like the crazy Cowboy fan, but yes, if we make it all the way to the Super Bowl and we do end up succeeding, now we still have not paid Dak Prescott. We're getting to the point where paying Dak Prescott is getting, yes, of course, if he wins a Super Bowl for us, absolutely, he should get paid. He deserves to get paid, and he 100% will get paid. But now we're talking about a number that's going to probably hurt our team. Now we're not going to be able to get guys around Dak that will also help Dak because, the difference could be $5 million, $6 million, but we don't know what we could have done with that $5-6 million at the end of the day. That we ended up paying more for him every year. And, and to me, again, my thought is that Dak right now is trying to get the most out of the money he can now, while also leaving it open for, hey, I'm going to play really well these next 4 years, and then you're going to have to pay me again after the CBA renegotiates and after I've put up a bunch of numbers for you. So you're going to have to pay me insane money when you sign me for that.
Like a double up, kind of like Russell
contract.
Wilson. Yeah, I can see that. And
so, I'm not really sure other than that if there was another
what's
point
what's a sticking point? Because I know that.
But it sounds like right now, they agree they agree on the money. They just haven't agreed on length of time. Like I said, Dak seems to want a shorter length contract, and the Cowboys want to keep him longer than 4 years. So.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're negotiating now behind the scenes. So it'll work itself out. I don't think it's going to be something just outrageous. Like I say, Dak's good. He's doing his thing. I just think they're kind of taking their time with it. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. but I just you guys have a valid point. Everybody has a valid point on it. But I just
I haven't talked about my points yet.
Well, go ahead, Val. My fault.
Everyone has valid points. Thanks, 1980. I'm glad you agree with me. Now, Dak Prescott, in 2 games, I can say so far, he has shut me up. My thoughts, you can ask these guys here. My concern was, can he ball? Can he hang with the best? This guy's averaging 30 points. Okay. Can he put up 25 plus touchdowns? So far, he's on pace for like 33. So right now, Dak's doing what he's supposed to be doing as an NFL quarterback. The 42-yard run, which I said I want Dak to pass. I don't want Dak to run. But if you notice, he's really not running as much in these 2 games. I mean, the 42-yard, the stats might look like he is, but 42 yards, that's the longest run of the career. So he's actually passing. John Kitna is not getting enough credit when it comes to Dak Prescott. Look at Dak Prescott, just week 17, to the first game against these Giants. The shoulder, the hips, the feet, the placement is completely different. Even Dak's spiral is tighter right now. I seen his spiral in 2016. I seen his spiral this year at training camp. A lot better tight ball. A tight spiral can put it in tight windows, guys. Always remember that. 1980 with his hot route. 180! 180 set! All right, but anyway, but no, Dak Prescott right now, between two games, from what I'm seeing, he's shutting me up, and he's balling like a quarterback should. The interception, it's Randall Cobb's fault. I can't blame Dak on that. I would like to see Dak bring it just down. They always say throw it between the numbers. Sometimes you're not going to get that with any quarterback. So that one interception right now, I'm not going to blame it on Dak, but we got a long season. It's only 2 games in. I want to see consistency. And if Dak wins the Super Bowl, hopefully we do, right? I want to bawl my eyes out in front of you guys and say we're fucking champions with my eyes all red and teary-eyed. And pay Dak whatever amount he's asking for. Now, Pam Oliver went on national television against these Redskins and Cowboys and said, it's not about money for Dak Prescott. He even brought up maybe a point that his agent probably swallowed his phone. If it's not about if the money's already – and Dak probably said that because the money's already set, right? The money already has to be set. Now it's probably terms of years.
So you saying wait for after?
I'm saying, yeah, if you want to wait, you can still even franchise tag. Quarterbacks don't hold out because they're supposed to be the leader of the team. It's a whole bad look. Quarterbacks don't hold out in the National Football League. The diva wide receivers do. Zeke is kind of different just because you kind of seen because Zeke was there for the OTAs, for the mini camps. So Zeke probably seen this playbook and was like, oh shit, I know what Dak can do. Maybe they won't use me as much. I need to get paid now. So Zeke's thing is kind of different, but quarterbacks don't hold out. You can franchise tag him if the Cowboys want to. Maybe give him one more year like they did with Tank Lawrence before he got his big contract. That's just my opinion. MCF, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself in 3 different places. So, no, I did want to make a comment about Dak Prescott because think about this. Dak Prescott under Scott Linehan for his first 3 years when, Romo came in, when Linehan came in, Romo was the man already. So he kind of had to devise a plan around Romo's style, right? And he had Des Bryant, who was a 50-50 guy. So that was Linehan. And then when Dak comes in under everyone's like a third stringer behind Kellen Moore, and he made it, Moore broke his leg, and then Romo, we know what happened with him, and then Dak took over. He just had a real conservative that first year, and then he tried to open it up. But I believe, giving Dak a harder, not going to his strengths, to Dak's strengths. And I believe now, after 3 tough years under a stubborn offensive coordinator, that has really, through all the trials and tribulations, he still got us twice as division conference champions. I mean, that's true. That's huge to overcome those things. Remember, he had an on and off offensive line when Zeke was gone for 6 games. I know we didn't make the playoffs that year, but we had issues on the offensive line. Last year, we had issues on the offensive line. So when you had, remember our receivers last year? I mean, Hearns was our number one. What I'm trying to say is we had a receiver by committee. What I'm trying to say here is it's just basically Dak Prescott has overcome all odds. When you let him use his intangibles, use his legs, he's a dual threat. So that is part of his passing game.
We saw the Cowboys making a statement where we purposely didn't use Zeke. Like, we did not put Zeke out there, and we went a whole drive and tried to score and ended up scoring without Zeke. Again, I do think that was a statement to the whole league to show, we can score without Zeke. Look what we can do.
And I also believe that, with Dak Prescott, when you see him overcome these things at this point in time, he's able to read the defense, whatever Kellen Moore has put in front of him, and talk with the players, and has, come up with this great offensive strategy and game plan, game by game, week by week. This is Dak is like, give it to me, I can take it. And now he's allowed to show, he's allowed to change plays. Unlike last year, as I've been screaming last year at all the round tables, Scott Linehan's not letting Dak change the play.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we said that too. It's not like Dak is running 5-6 times. He's running 1 or 2 times a game, but we're allowing him to make the decision of when he runs and kind of get the flow for the game. That's how you end up with a quarterback who gets a 42-yard run, right? Yeah. And there's a big difference too with the holdout situation. I don't think you'll ever see Dak hold out too because of the overall leverage. I mean, at the end of the day, Dak has even more leverage than Zeke ever had. And I'm not saying Zeke is replaceable because Zeke is very special. Just saying that there's ways to scheme around not having Zeke more so than you can't scheme your way out of not having Dak. You know, you either have Dak or you take a big downgrade with whoever is out there as your quarterback.
Cooper
you get
Rush,
what I'm trying to say? Like, there's no scheme. There's only so much scheme, I should say, with Cooper Rush. So at the end of the day, too, you know,
it's him, the ability to take Kellen Moore's brain and put it on that field. Dak has the keys, and he's showing that he's able to do that and more. I believe we're in great shape. I'd rather have him over Wentz, over Goff. And I'm going to ask a question to you guys. Do you think Dak's possible, if he continues this way, obviously, is he a 2019 NFL MVP candidate?
He possibly could be.
He possibly could be.
If he keeps going in this direction. Now, we talked about this all up until now, all the roundtables previously to now. We talked about all Dak kind of needed was the right coaching, and now he's got it. Like Football News and you guys have just brought up, John Kidner didn't get enough credit either. You know, John Kidner behind the scene in the booth or whatever, he's not getting the credit. John Kidner has really, really molded Dak and really worked on his mechanics and footwork and squaring up his shoulders and following through and all that stuff. You notice how patient Dak is in the pocket now. He's not, he's not frantic anymore. He's the offensive line is really, and the offensive line does not give a lot of credit either because they're giving him time. Notice Tyron Smith isn't holding and stuff like that. So Tyron Smith is staying healthy, and we're getting a healthy offensive line. Even Travis Frederick, who's got the GBS syndrome, and he's doing very good. He's a quarterback in the offensive line and doing a damn good job of pointing out things and calling out the blitzes and stuff like that. That offensive line is giving Dak the time, not taking anything away from Dak, but Dak now has the time to sit in the pocket and develop. It's hard to develop when your pocket is falling apart. You get what I'm saying? And you got to run all the time. So now he's developing off out of games, before games. That's in practice, and he's developing in the game too. So that's a plus. You develop in the game and in practice. So the years before he wasn't developing because he didn't have the coaching staff, and he didn't with a battered offensive line. He didn't have the time to develop. Now he's able to really, really develop because of those two things. Offensive line's healthy and strong and looking like it's going to be one of the best in the league. And then the coaching, the guys that are working with him. Kellen Moore's offense, it's a comfort zone for him. Kellen Moore knows Dak like a book. He was on the sidelines with him. You get what I'm saying? And he knows what Dak is comfortable doing. He knows what he likes, what playbook, boom, 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 let's run this. He knows how to use them. Linehan didn't. So now Dak's strengths, everything we talked about, all his weaknesses we talked about, or all the Dak haters out there talked about, now they're his strengths. He just did a flip mode on everybody. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. He deserves
I'm not a Dak hater. I'm a Dak concerner.
No, I wouldn't. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, 1980 MCF. Two of the best points that lead me into this point here. It's the timing of Kellen Moore's plays. Dak Prescott, because the route tree with wide receivers under Scott Linehan, obviously we know it's probably 2 to 3 route trees. Kellen Moore, there's every route tree imaginable in there. Just the underneath, the over the top, wide receivers. It's beautiful, right? And I think Dak Prescott is looking, when he was with Scott Linehan, we're going to run these same routes against this defense. I don't know if I want to throw this ball because I don't know. Under Kellen Moore in 2 games, it's, okay, you're calling these routes against this defense, I'm going to call you a genius in my press conference. You know what I'm saying? And Dak looks more comfortable gunslinging it because it's the timing of what Kellen Moore can bring, calling plays. Everybody's bobbleheading over there. And when I go let you know I'm going to talk next, I feel like I'm in the Democratic debate, But anyway, no. Does anybody else have anything about Dak Prescott and any of that?
Not really. Just
LCF. Go ahead.
I mean, everything you said is 100% spot on. I think that the timing comes from the offensive line, right? If some of he gets time in the offensive line, and then I think some of it's Kellen Moore who's running these routes and these plays that are opening up. If not this, then this, and then that. Very easy progressions for Dak to read as well.
I think the offensive line just gives Dak the time to go through all those progressions.
Yes.
The point is he has 3, 4, 5 of them. He gets to kind of go through all of them and pick the one. It's not like before where, he might have had 3, by the time we're at the second one, if he didn't let go of the ball, we're out of luck because that's it.
Either pressure or defenders would jump on the route on their predictable routes, which they knew already.
But again, I will say, as much as I love the offensive line, let's not discount Kellen Moore's addition because again, with all that mix up and stuff, we saw it. The defense is biting on plays where they're completely falling for it and because of that trickery. So that does make the defense take a second to hesitate and say, wait,
some of those,
does Dak have it? Does Zeke have it? Does Pollard? Does Cobb?
Is he going to dump it up to Witten in the end zone? I mean, the thing is that you have 5 options for Dak, and the defense is also getting set up by opening holes on the defense is opening the holes that we need because of the way Kellen Moore is running some of these plays. That's the genius of it. If you look at it, you could see it. The giant thing when Zeke get a touchdown. I mean, look at the 5 options. You didn't know who had the ball. And the funny thing is, if you watch the offensive line in the trenches and the defensive line, you see the defenders moving out of the spot where we're going to be running to because of the way the play was designed. And again, I got to reload some John Kitna because I got to give credit to Garrett for stepping out a little bit, letting Moore do this stuff. But he wanted John Kitna last year, and he was overruled by Scott Linehan, who wanted to get a buffer there as Kellen Moore.
Yeah, so at least Jason Garrett was able to see, hey, John Kitna is going to be the guy that's really going to help bring Dak to that next level.
And he has. I mean, the guy you can see Dak. He talked about balance the other day about how he's not putting so much weight on his front foot and whipping, and kind of whipping it out a little bit. He's putting the pressure on the back leg and holding it as long as possible, which stabilizes his mid-range score. And then when he flings that ball, his torque, he has more power, more accuracy, and it shows. I don't care if you get the best defense out there. The plays that Kellen Moore opens up and Dak's ability to read the defense and then hit them, that's a recipe for a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, it's just a little close right now.
Yep. And this has nothing to do with Dak. If anybody wants to talk about Dak real quick, go ahead. The roast Drew here. He wants to know how many Super Bowl rings that our loyal Cowboy fans in the comment section, probably us guys. He wants to know how many Super Bowl rings have we experienced. First of all, Drew, your team took 52 years to win a Super Bowl. So your grandpa, if he's an Eagles fan, I'm sure he didn't get to experience that. If your dad's an Eagle fan, he probably didn't get to experience that. So before you come after us, 52 years is 2 generations, bud, if not more. So there's a lot of your family members that probably didn't get a chance to see Philadelphia Eagles host a Lombardi Trophy. So don't be skipping a over here because the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl way before the Eagles will win one again.
Remember, 5 is always greater than 1, Philadelphia. Yeah.
He's just been in here, and then he wants to talk about Carson Wentz got paid first. Carson Wentz, the only thing that money's going to go to is his fucking retirement because he's going to need it for wheelchairs and wheelchair accessories because this guy, I guarantee you, Wentz will not finish this year as a starting quarterback. He will be looking like a mummy all bandaged up on the sidelines because that's the history of your quarterback.
Well, I got a chance to experience 3. So, my dad experienced realistically, the Cowboys been to the Super Bowl. My Cowboys family, how many times have the Cowboys actually been to the Super Bowl? 8. So, we were there. You get what I'm saying? So
generationally there.
You want to go to history, let's go to history. History. And see, that's one thing about history. History is something that exists. We can go back and say, the 70s, we fell off in the 80s, in the back in the 90s, should have been 4 or 5 Super Bowls if Jimmy Johnson would have stuck around, So that's a part of history. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people say, you guys haven't won one in 24, 25 years. I know, but it's a part of us. When you go to the stadium, you're going to see those banners up there. Just like when you go to the Celtics, if you go to the Boston Garden, you're going to see all those banners up there, 11, 12, however many they won. That's a part of history. It's like when you go to the Chicago Bull game, You see Jordan's banners up there. You see Jordan's statue in the front. You get what I'm saying? So that's a part of history. Don't close out our history because you're not a Cowboy fan, because you hate the Cowboys. I'm sorry, man. We got 5.
You know what's funny about that 1980 is every talk show, national talk show, Undisputed, First Take, all those guys, they don't open up for the Philadelphia Eagles, do they? They open up for the Dallas Cowboys. They open up for America's team because of that reason. And Philadelphia, and I'm talking to this guy, it's one ear, catch speed and going out the other. It's the most trash fan base in all of sports. All of sport. It's their trash, their garbage. They barely got a foot or a toe to stand on. They're diabetes of fan base. They got no fucking limbs. They got nothing. They're nothing. They're trash. That's an Eagles fan to me.
I think that's what it is. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but and I love the passion that Drew has, or if any other Philadelphia fan is in here. I love the passion. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's what bothers people, especially the new generation. When they turn on the TV, it's Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. It's all Cowboys.
I think that's what they like. What the Cowboys have? Why are they? It's the brand. You get what I'm saying? That's like Jordan. That's like Jordan brand. Jordan has a brand now. So Jordan, when you see that Jumpman logo, that's Jordan. You get what I'm saying? So we're bigger than that. You get what I'm saying? So it's the brand. It's the winning tradition. It's being the best assembled team in the 90s. We had the best assembled team ever. You get what I'm saying? So it comes from that. We're not gonna, and this is the thing that kills me. It's like we're not gonna stop being Cowboy fans because we haven't won a Super Bowl in 24, 25 years. You get what I'm saying? We're not gonna stop being a Cowboy fan because somebody writes something in the comment section and try to hurt somebody's feelings, or we're not gonna stop. We're gonna continue to make videos. We're gonna continue to go live, even if we don't win this year. We're gonna continue. If we lose tomorrow, we're going to go live right after that game and talk about it. We exist. We're not going anywhere. You get what I'm saying? So if that's what y'all think, you got another thing coming, man. You better go back to bed and go back to sleep and pinch yourself and wake up.
Hold that Eagles teddy bear.
Happen. We're going to be here. They're going to talk about us. We're still going to be the number one topic. We're still going to be the richest team organization in history ever in all of sports. That's just the way it is. There's nothing.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
Hey, I've been through 3 of them, like 1980 said, and I actually experienced all 3 of those. The last 3, not the 70s ones. I was barely alive. When I was alive, I didn't know what life was, right? So, to me, when that day happens, like DCFN said, I will be crying on here. Tears of happiness, and it will happen. I believe the next couple of years, if not this year, we have a good chance. But listen, I'm not worried about Eagle fans what they say. I'm not worried about that stuff. And I mean, I cannot wait till we break this streak of losing, right? And again, like 1980 said, we are fans for life till death, guys. It's the way it is. And again, I don't know how anybody can jump ship or come back or take a break. That's not in our DNA. That's in the silver and blue. That's this. You can't. I mean, I know Fiance is kind of newer on this, but
yeah, no. So I can't really claim any Super Bowls, so I won't try to.
He keeps asking me in all caps, like he's screaming at DCFN, how many Super Bowls have you experienced? I experienced 1. Okay, I was 6 years old. I was on the couch, and I remember eating some cheese dip, eating the old style see-through bag of Doritos, and we were watching Cowboys football, and we won that freaking game. But I want to ask you, Drew, how many Super Bowls did your grandpa see?
Damn.
But anyway, that's all I got, guys. You want to go ahead and close it out?
Oh yeah. Hey guys.
No, MCF first.
Okay. Go ahead.
there we go.
There we go.
Guys. Again, first of all, thank you so much, 1980. Thank you, DCFN. As always, a great time talking with you guys, talking Cowboys.
Much love to DJ as well. I know he's got a little nap right now. We're not sleeping on the Dolphins. We're ready for this game tomorrow.
Yeah.
DJ's sleeping on the Dolphins.
Before every football game, starting off the day right.
Yeah. We know what DJ said.
But no, guys, again, seriously, thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging with us and talking Cowboys as well. You can find us, My Cowboys Family, every social media platform, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, My Cowboys Family.
Any predictions? Any predictions real quick, MCF?
Yes, overall, we're gonna put up more than 30 points, but I do think the Dolphins are gonna get 13. That's the one thing that bothers me. I just want to get out of this game with no injuries, though. So as much as it bothers me, I'm gonna have to learn to live with it. So the only prediction I'll give is the Dolphins will probably get 13 points. As far as us, at least 30 or more. I'll leave that open-ended because the Cowboys, I want them to surprise me in a good way.
I'll say this. In years past, we've always had these games we're supposed to win when we're on the top, and we always struggle, right? This is a different team. I'm going to say it. This is a different team, I believe, and I'm going to say it. Listen, I've been off, but not 100% wrong on these predictions, and I have a feeling this team is ready to take that next step together. I believe that, we are going to, again, I can't account for the end, but when it counts, I'm thinking it's going to be something like we're going to go into the 40s, say 41 to 10. After because at the end we're going to probably have to give up a couple scores, whatever it goes to our backups. But listen, I just throwing numbers out because I do believe it's just going to be a domination game. I think the Cowboys are going to make a point, and I believe this. I'm hoping that this year's team has that killer attitude, and might have a slow start. I think they're going to have a strong second and third, and then fourth, probably coast a little bit. So we'll see. But I believe we're going to dominate them.
Oh no! Awesome prediction there, guys. Thank you for having this roundtable. Very.
And before we forget, guys, yes, My Cowboys Family all over. That navy blue, silver too, star for everything. What is it, baby? Go Cowboys! Let's go, baby. Let's beat the Dolphins. Let's go, baby. Some fish tacos. Let's have some. Let's go.
Man, I always think you're gonna blow my hair off like Donald Trump. I'll make sure my hair is still good. Anyway, no, guys, thank you guys for joining us here, giving us a piece of your Saturday. We made our show longer than last week. There just really wasn't much to talk about. This week, I think we got you some good quantity content and an Eagle roast. You can't forget to roast them Eagles when you get the chance. And if you got the platform to do it, by all means, roast you Eagle. Pluck the feathers, boil those birds, baby, and then throw them on the grill. Anyway, my prediction, I got 40-7. Jacksonville all over again against these Miami Dolphins. I got 40-7, guys. I want to see Dak Prescott put up 5 touchdowns, and I think he will. And look for Wentz to maybe get about 1 with 2 picks. That's my prediction. Dallas Cowboy Football News on Facebook, Drew. Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube, Drew. Dallas Cowboy DCF News 1 on Twitter, Drew. And if you're man enough, Drew, to talk X's and O's, slide in my DMs like a hoe. 1980.
Appreciate it, guys. That was DCFN, man. That's my boy. Guys, another show in the books. It was great show. It's good to talk Cowboys football with My Cowboys Family, Fifth Quarter Cowboys, and Dallas Cowboys Football News. Really, really good. I showed Miss Football News and DJ colliding tonight. I really wanted them to collide, but DJ is getting his Z's, probably working hard, 30, 40, 90 hours a day. So I get it, man. But I'm pretty sure
30, 40, 90 hours a day, bro? You got it like that?
But I'm pretty sure he'll be ready to do the halftime spiel tomorrow. So y'all go to Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy. Guys, another show in the books, man. Great show. Can't wait till tomorrow. No prediction from 1980. No prediction. Must-win game. That's what I will say. Must-win game from 1980. 1980 never predicts. It's bad luck for me. That's a no-no. Big no-no. But guys, once again, man, we're just, like I always say, we're Cowboy fans, die hard. We want the best for our team. If you don't like the Cowboys, if you really can't stand the Cowboys, if we've been losing for 24 years, you don't have to watch us. You really don't. If we're nothing to you, why even watch us? Why even put up with us? I think you're wasting your own time by doing that. Like, seriously, don't let the internet pump your head up that much to where you got to go to somebody else's channel, another fan base's channel, to throw shade. You get what I'm saying? You're wasting your own time. You could be in the bed with your kids, with your wife, with your husband, whatever, you know. you could be doing something more productive with your time. But this is the new age internet, cyber, minded generation. So, but anyway, guys, hopefully we get this win tomorrow. I see a blowout, but like I said, I don't do numbers and stuff like that. So, but guys, another great show, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. It's late. It's late. We tired, man. We're gonna be live tomorrow. Just ready. So if you a Cowboy fan, go to fifth quarter football news. My Cowboys family will be live. They will be doing the watch parties, guys. So make sure y'all tune in. Join them, guys. They will be watching the game. So those guys are one of the hardest working YouTubing families out here. So, but anyway, guys, like I always say, make sure you stay cowboyed up and prayed up because you never know what the day is gonna bring you. I'll back at the boy. We out.
Hey.